It all began with that 911 call. You could hear a woman crying for just a moment before that call disconnected. A search of the number by the dispatcher revealed that number belonged to a Candace Smith, the wife of the man now identified as the suspect, Quentin Smith. And this wasn't the first time she'd called 911 in fear of her husband, so officers quickly responded to what they thought could be a potential domestic situation. And once they arrived on the scene and came into contact with the suspect, gunfire was almost immediately exchanged. And then Candace Smith called 911 again. She told the dispatcher she was hiding in the bushes outside her home. Take a listen.
911, what's your emergency?
Please help, please help, please help.
What's wrong? Tell me what's going on.
He shot the police officers.
Your husband did it? Where's your husband now?
My daughter is in there, please.
Okay, where's your husband?
12 Crossland Drive, I don't know, but my daughter is in the house. She's 1 year old, please.
Officer Eric Joring, a 17-year veteran of the police force, he died at the scene, while Officer Tony Morelli died at the hospital later in the day. He was a 30-year veteran of the force. Both men are being remembered as heroes, guys who did their job the right way and gave their lives in protection of others. A GoFundMe page for the two men's families at last check has raised over $180,000. Now, I mentioned that this wasn't the first time that police responded to the Smith home to investigate domestic violence. Incident reports that we've obtained from the Westerville Police Department shed some light on the suspect, Quentin Smith, and the tumultuous and troubled relationship he has with his wife, Candace. In fact, we learned that last year, Candace visited the Westerville Police Department. She was inquiring about getting a protection order against her husband. She said that anytime she threatened to leave him, he threatened to kill her, their daughter, and himself. And she told police he always had a gun nearby.
Let's see if that song plays. Cardi B. Go in the kitchen and eat that. So it's just not even saying. I just need to sing. I tried to different songs. I tried three different songs and it's doing all that song.
Okay, you should be able to see it and hear it now. Do you copy? Yeah, that's the problem. It's still a little ways away. Just talk to me because I can't hear. I can't hear the anchors.
That's the Cardi B that ain't playing. Keep making a sound.
Just give me a heads up because I cannot hear program. I can only hear you. You're going to have to yell to me. Okay, there's a reprieve. How far? And Jen, good evening to you again. I'm going to try to speak a little loudly because there are dozens and dozens and dozens of police vehicles headed from Gainesville going through the town of Newberry, which is just to the west of Gainesville right now, headed back to Trenton, where those two deputies were shot and killed yesterday, Noel Martinez and Taylor Lindsay. We're told that officials from all over this part of North Florida are part of this procession right now as they are leading the bodies of the two fallen deputies to a funeral home. No word yet when services will be, but as you can see here live, quite the sight. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands of people who have turned out on the streets to pay their respects. Just a few moments ago, a white hearse followed by a black hearse both went by us here in the middle of this intersection in downtown Newberry. There are people with American flags, flags that represent the blue line that's representative of police officers, and many people with their hands over their hearts. But as you can see here live in Newberry, just west of Gainesville right now, this is quite the sight as many of these police officers are headed to a funeral home where the two slain deputies will eventually